It is 20 degrees outside. This is a TMP SPR I put together from scratch. It is 1 MOA capable, completely reliable in the heat, in the cold. Great gun, and it's actually a value SPR, comparatively speaking, with the components I used. That's a Rock River BCG, chrome plated, AR Stoner barrel. All day reliable in the snow, all day reliable in the desert heat. It's one of many AR-15s that are cast members here in TMP. And I might do some shooting with it for some insert video today. But this isn't a video about AR-15s per se. It's a video about how you are not ready. That's right, that's the title of this video. You, watching this video, probably, not assuredly, but probably are not ready. Here's the deal. If you're watching the Nut and Fancy Project, if you have been watching the Nut and Fancy Project for a number of years, which I think most of you have, you probably have somewhat of a preparedness mindset, don't you? That you believe in the preparedness concept, you believe in the free man concept, and what I've always called it, the Minuteman prerogative concept. I'm gonna dock here to the mother station while we talk about the philosophy. Go watch my video, the Minuteman prerogative. That's basically where, as a free man, you have arms. Maybe it's a Glock, maybe it's an AR, maybe it's a Mini 14, but you believe in the tenets that make this country great, and that is we are a free and armed people, that ultimately it is us, the citizens, that are in charge of the country. It's not the politicians, it's us, right? That's what that whole philosophy video is about, the Minuteman prerogative. That we're wise, we have value systems in which we administrate and protect freedom's cause. And along with that, maybe, not maybe, but we definitely have the tools in a modern era to do that. That's one of my personally held beliefs. I think it is yours as well. Now, I'm trying not to laugh because it's funny, but it's kind of sad how it turned out this weekend. So the Minuteman concept, we understand that. You're watching this, so you believe in it. But here's the deal. You're not ready. There's a huge disconnect between the things I see online, especially in the comments from other YouTubers, and reality. What you're seeing right out here is reality. What we saw this weekend is reality. The way I try to educate people, my viewers, about this disconnect in what's said online and what the reality of weapon systems, proficiency levels, the difficulties of making a shot, especially at long range, in cold weather, tired conditions. That's always been shown in TMP. I've always integrated that. I'm not stepping out behind a double wide shooting in a patch of woods for my channel. I'm coming out here to the West Desert, and I have for a long time, for many years, on a day just like today, where it's tough and it's challenging. So last year I came up with a drill called the Soldier Boy concept, or the Soldier Boy drill. And the whole thing about it, if you don't know, you should if you've been watching, is that guys are tapped by us very short notice, and they come out here and shoot with us with their systems to test their Minuteman capabilities. Isn't that what we're talking about? We're testing your Minuteman capabilities. Now, I'm not talking about doing anything outlandish like, oh, we're preparing for Civil War. We're not talking about that. We're just saying, listen, you're a free man. You should have arms. Those arms and those systems, I'm talking about firearms, of course. They should be ready.
Come on, Soldier Boy, book it.
Okay? You've been watching me for how many years? They should be ready. And yet, you're not. You're not. Let's go back to 2015 when Mike Jardine and myself and some other crew, we started tapping guys for Soldier Boy. The way I did it back then, because I was naive, and I often am naive, and I have to learn through the School of Hard Knocks of how things really are and how I need to better do things in TMP. So I was thinking, well, let's go to the people's place of residence. They've qualified themselves, they filled out cards, they signed waivers, and they show an interest in participating in Soldier Boy. Yes, I want to come out and run and gun with the Nut and Fancy Project. Yes, my systems are ready. Yes, I'm ready. Back in 2015, they weren't ready. Okay, we actually knocked on multiple doors, and for whatever reason, they didn't want to come out. One guy said he wanted to sip eggnog with his in-laws that were coming over. He's like, yeah, I got my in-laws coming over. We're going to have eggnog and play games and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not coming back. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for coming by. This was a guy who stopped me, who said, listen, dude, I want to shoot with you. He was rah, rah, rah. And this is the disconnect I'm talking about. That, oh my gosh, yeah, my systems are good. I'm good. I want to shoot with you so bad. We knock on his door. He says no. Now, why did he say no? It's probably because he wasn't ready. Probably. He didn't have the clothing. His gun was all dicked up. Maybe he didn't have a gun. I'll talk about that. On come the excuses. And this is, again, what you see in real life. Online, anyone can present themselves any way they want to in a comment. Hey, I've done this. I have this. It's unverifiable. You don't know. Here we verify it. Here I will verify your skill levels. I will verify your systems. I won't do it. The desert will do it. And the course we set up will do it. With no bullshit. So that guy, Jardine and I walked away. We're just shaking our heads like, oh my gosh. We tried 5 other guys. They failed too. Some were too scared to answer their doors. One guy peeked out the curtain. Saw it as us. Again, these are guys who had volunteered for these drills. And I'm not coming to them. They're coming to me. I told you I'm going to rant a little bit. No apologies. I'll see him in like Cabela's or something. They'll come up and like, oh, dude, Nut and Fancy, I love your show. Always watch your show. Love it. I watch all the videos. Oh, I'd love to shoot with you. Please, please, please take me shooting with you. I'm like, okay. Well, we are doing the Soldier Boy thing. I can't guarantee you we'll call you. Let me get your information. That I did. So let's fast forward to 2016, last night. I called Jardine up and said, hey, let's do, well, I called him the week before. I was like, we're going to do Soldier Boy this weekend. We're going to do a daytime shoot because viewers are saying, hey, nighttime's cool, but let's do a daytime Soldier Boy so we can see things better. Right on. So I have to plan my schedule, have to free up my schedule a little bit more than I would normally. Jardine, thank you so much, by the way, Mike, for, he calls. I said, listen, can you call these? We had 20 applicants. And because of our experience from 2015, I learned this. I was like, well, we can't go to their doors anymore. It's just way too much time. We spent hours doing it in 2015 and no one's ready. The idea is to pull them out of their house, short notice. Awesome. I love that concept. But the problem is if they don't answer the door, if they want to sip eggnog, if they want to stay on the video game controller, we're wasting our time. So what I decided to do on this last round is, well, let's call them relatively late in the evening, 8 p.m. to maybe about 10 p.m. on a Friday so they can shoot on Saturday today. The idea being is at short notice, they won't have time to go zero their gun. So we're going to test their systems. They're going to get more time to prepare. I know that. But they're going to give them a time and a place to meet up. And if they don't make it within a 15-minute window, they're out. And we start mocking them. That's the idea. Well, I gave him a list of 20 names, and I thought he'd call me back, you know, maybe 20 minutes later, say, hey, we got one. We got a dude. He's going to show up. He's stoked. And I said, before I told him to call these people, these were the qualifications. One, they have to have their own systems, okay? They have to have their own gun, their own pistol. I don't care what it is. They have to have their own systems. Isn't that the key concept of Soldier Boy? Is to test you, to test your systems. Number 2, they have to be a TMPer. They have to be watching the show. They have to know what the latest videos are posted. Lately, I've seen a lot of guys come up to me. Again, they do the 4 dude syndrome. Dude, Nut and Fancy, I love your show. And I'll ask them, I was like, well, it's, you know, you watching? I mean, thanks for saying hi, I appreciate it. What's my last, I'm asking now. I'm like, what's the last videos I posted? They don't have an answer. They're just like, well, let's see. you did that one video on that one gun. I'm like, hey, you know, thanks for being a once upon a time viewer. I appreciate it. But honestly, if all the viewers were like you, I would have quit this gig a long time ago. I would have, I guess, freaking A, just go do something else. And that's the truth. I told you I'd be truthful. But most of these guys, the 20 names, either they applied to Soulja Boy specifically, or they came up to me with the 4 dudes and wanted to sign up. Saying they had systems, they're totally motivated, they watch the show, they're TMPers. Awesome. I didn't hear from Jardine for like an hour. He was on the phone the whole time. I'm like, and then he texts me back or calls me. He goes, yeah, it's not good. I'm like, well, what's going on? He's like, well, a lot of the guys can't even answer simple questions of what, you know, name some of the last videos posted. So they're not watching the show. They're super excited, like, yeah, I'll come shoot with you guys, and they're not TMPers really. They're just kind of, maybe they watched the show at one time and then they drifted away, which happens. But I mean, for Soulja Boy, you got to be watching. You know, we're not going to buy your ammunition, take you out here, put you on camera if you're not a TMPer. I mean, it's kind of a thank you as well to hardcore viewers. It really is. And occasionally I might bring an armchair elitist out here if I can find one that thinks he's awesome. We'll run him as Soulja Boy and see how he does. Fair and square. If he does great, we'll tell the world. If not, we'll tell the world that too. But generally, the show is meant for TMPers, for you guys to test your systems. Then he says, yeah, I called one guy and he knew immediately what videos you posted right now. It's a Galco pistol video. And I just posted, do you need a laser on your home defense pistol video? He was right there, boom. So he's watching the show, awesome. And he goes, oh, I'd love to shoot you, but here's the deal. I sold my AR-15 and I don't have anything now. And we'll let that sink in a little bit while you guys mull that over of what that means. Now, I understand people, sorry, I got a bad cold today. It is what it is. I'm still out here working. I understand how that is. I mean, we've all sold stuff in life. But here's how I perceive you selling what I perceive to be a Minuteman firearm. Something very basic to you, your existence as a free man. If I go back to my college days in the 80s, I was never without a primary semi-automatic tactical carbine. Never. Granted, it wasn't a tricked out AR-15, but it was a Mini 14, and I always had one. I'm talking from 1986 on, actually prior to 86, because I had a Mini 14. I had a Mini 14 from 1980 on. So we'll say 1980 on, even before I was in college, when I'm just coming out of high school, or in high school, I never went without a tactical carbine. I wouldn't just sell it and go, well, I'll get one later. If you do that, then it is very low on your priority list. If you just sell it and you don't have anything, especially now. Since Hillary did not get elected, there are black rifles on the market selling for $500. You can get a new AR-15 for $600, a really good one. And so that doesn't fly. He goes, yeah, I sold it, I don't have anything now. I might have a pistol. Jardine and I consulted, because I value his opinion. I was like, so what do you think? I mean, this is kind of jacked up. Doesn't it pretty much, you know, undermine one of the major foundations of Soulja Boy, is that we test not just you, but your gear? He goes, absolutely. I was like, it wouldn't be right, you know, if this guy comes out, and he goes, hey, you know, welcome to Soulja Boy, and just go ahead and run a TMP SPR. You know, that I know this thing is completely squared away. Illuminated 30 mil tube, fluorescent set dials, ready for long range, ready for short range, completely zeroed, completely reliable, lightweight, accurate. That's not the purpose of Soulja Boy. The purpose is you watch the show, you apply the philosophies shared in the show, you go out and maybe spend some money, maybe a lot of money on the things I review, and you get your shit squared away. Duh. Isn't that the purpose of TMP? Yes, Soulja Boy brings that all together and tests it, and that guy failed, and we're like, no, he can't come out. You got to have your own stuff. You know, and I mean, don't sell your AR unless you get another one. Buy another one, then that way you always have something in stock. Do you need it for something to kick off these days? No, but it's the core concept. Most of the guys watching this video will completely agree with me. It's the core concept. You know, that's like oxygen in my world. You know, to have an AR, to have a tactical carbine, that is just who I am. I'm armed, always. I'm free, I'm armed. And for you to just pitch it and go, yeah, I don't have any systems and I don't really care, it just doesn't make sense to us. We just like, what the hell? So he went down the list deeper. So he went through 10 guys. Either they're not watching the show, they don't have basic answers. A lot of them, and not just that guy, but there are other guys that didn't have guns. The ones we brought out last year, bless their hearts, their guns weren't really zeroed. Their guns really weren't zeroed. And they had troubles. So in round 2, you know, I helped them to connect, to understand the long-range shots, to understand their systems. And that is another part of Soldier Boy, is the educational, learning, training portion that hopefully the viewers can take away and go, oh, wow. So here's this TMPer. He had these issues with his AR. Maybe I can check those. But apparently that is not being absorbed from what I'm seeing from this, you know, sample size. So cutting to the chase, he called 10 other guys for a total of 20 guys. All fails. They all failed. And I tweeted all this out in a disposable conversation because I don't want it on the Twitter feed. First, I said on Twitter, I was like, listen, guys, we're going to call for Soldier Boy. Jardine's calling, pick up your phones. Next tweet is, I forgot what I said. It's like, it's not going well. And then in the end, I was like, they're just fails. We cancel Soldier Boy.
Look how cool that freaking
so we just kind of, either they didn't have guns or they're not even watching the show. And these are, again, I really want to emphasize this. These are preparedness dudes. Guys that acted like they're super prepared and super motivated TMPers. They're, dude, I want to shoot with you. Please, please, please take my number. Call me anytime. And I was like, you really mean anytime? And they're like, oh, absolutely. All 20 failed. You are not prepared. So those names are nuked. They're gone. And I'll start all over. And honestly, Soldier Boy in TMP is not popular. I'm talking as a video product. I mean, a view is a vote and it gets very low views. No one gives a shit about it. Sorry for the French. They don't. That's why I don't do it very frequently. But I do like doing it once in a while because, again, it helps everything. It helps the tabletop reviews. It helps the philosophy. It ties things together, systems, preparedness levels, and cutting through the BS we see online. I'm ready. And don't roll in. I hate these comments. Oh, dude. Do Soldier Boy in Virginia, do it in Ohio, come out to Florida and do it. I'm ready. Come down to Arizona. I'm not coming anywhere. I'm not coming down to your state to do Soldier Boy. It is impossible. You should know this. It is impossible. It is intensely logistical. We need steel, ammunition, firearms, suppressors, hundreds and hundreds of pounds of equipment. It's expensive and time consuming to set up. And we need large parcels of lands to do it. You don't have that in your state. You know, even if I don't have time to go do that. It ain't going to happen. If you want to be in Soldier Boy, you move to Utah. There you go. You move to Utah. It ain't me moving to you. And then here's what we're going to do from now on is if you want to be in Soldier Boy, if you think that this is an anomaly and you just are shaking your head at this video going, I cannot believe this crap, that these guys failed to go shoot with TMP. And they did. Massively failed on all levels. Very disappointed. Then fill out a postcard. It's been in banner the whole time. Send it to the P.O. box. You don't even have to tell me what guns you have. I don't care. All I need is your name, your work schedule, when you're free, and phone number. I don't even care where you live. I will give you a meetup location and you will have to travel there. Probably, you need to be within a 3-hour drive of Salt Lake City, Utah. We'll just say that. Because that's where I'm currently doing it. And we'll see how it plays. So send your postcards in, dudes. Show us how it's done. But it's not looking good. It's looking grim. Grim. All 4 of us actually went to a movie last night. And Mike Jardine brought his kids. Doodle Suspect came with me, and John Shaw was there, Soldier Boy alumni, who I'm using now to shoot. And who, by the way, on the second run last year, Shaw did great. So, and he's a great dude. We like him. So we're all four sitting there, and we're talking about the singularity of this whole experience, about how guys were so excited and sold themselves so heavily on being prepared, having their systems, and yet when it comes down to it, they fail.
I like it.
They're not ready. They're not watching the show. And we're just like, wow, this is messed up. But again, I like cutting through hype on stuff. It's really easy to talk. It's really easy to meet someone in Cabela's like, oh dude, I'm there. And then you get that call, who knows when it'll be, maybe it's 10 o'clock at night, and goes, hey, you know, I go, hey dude, you need to be there at 7 in the morning out in the desert. You ready? And usually, as it was last night, for various reasons, as I've discussed, the answer is no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. You know, and so let's go back to what I started the video with, the Minuteman prerogative. You're watching a preparedness show, right? That is one of the things, and it baffles me. You know, if someone came over from another genre, maybe they come over from a car channel or something, I wouldn't expect them to be prepared because they're not watching the show. But now at this point, I have, what, 1,700 videos, and those themes of preparedness, of systems, and so many valid options to arm yourselves up with have been out there for years and years, since 2008, dude. I just don't get it. So today, I'm alone. I cut Jardine loose because I felt bad having him come out short notice. I'm sick. I didn't even know if I was going to come out today. Oh, and by the way, that's another thing. I mean, let's go back to the Minuteman, the call out, if you will. So maybe things aren't perfect when you are called into action with your sidearm. I mean, I've got a Glock 17, I have it for defensive purposes out here. I always have one. It's in like my chest rig. But things may not be just perfect when you have to make a shot for whatever reason. Maybe it's without rule of law. Maybe it's rule of law and it's a defensive pistol shot. Maybe it's something else, a shotgun in the home. If you wait until everything's just perfect, you're not going to be ready. And that's what Soldier Boy tests. That's what I do to myself personally all the time. I test it. Like, I have a cold, I feel like crap today. So, come out where it's cold, where it's snowy. Get done today for the project, you know? But that's me. And I mean, if this data point is extended, I mean, I hope it changes. I really do. I hope if you're watching this video and you are able to respond within a 3-hour window to Salt Lake City, Utah, I hope you answer the call and we turn this whole thing around. And so now in my table, because I'm going to talk about this in my tabletop reviews, about this horse shit that happened this weekend. Not extensively, but I'll make mention of it because it's funny and it's also very illuminating. It shows kind of what's going on. Because you get statistics, you get a sample size, and then you can infer general characteristics of the entire population from that sample size. Now, I'm not saying this is scientific, but for me and my little show here, 20, that's a pretty good sample size. I mean, last year, if we went through 5 guys, we were just like going, oh my gosh, this is not going good. And we did. Actually, we went through more than that, but not 20. So, yeah, if you're ever called into action without rule of law with your AR, is it going to be ready? Is it zeroed? Do you have your shit together? Probably not. Probably not. There are going to be, and I've spent so much effort and so many hours on video telling you how to get ready. I have a video out there of how to prepare for one of my tactical shoots. If you just watch that, it'll talk about your rigs, it'll talk about your guns. It's been out there forever and ever. Yeah, I'm bummed. I really am, because today was supposed to be a Soldier Boy day. This was not supposed to be a gun testing day. It will be, and I'll make good use of the time. And the sun's finally coming out. That's good. So, a little bit bummed. I mean, so was Jardine, so was Shaw. We were just like going, damn, this is bad. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, if I don't get any cards in there, Soldier Boy will just be a blip in time. That's what will happen. It'll be pretty much 2015 only. Turn it around. Send in your postcards. You come out and show us what you got. Nothing fancy. Thanks for watching. Rant complete, as I often say.